Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina and welcome back to another video. I am going to try to get myself into a regular Monday and Friday video making routine. Mondays I'm going to devote to my Cricut stuff, and then Fridays we'll bring back Stampin' on Friday. So I just need to think of a name for my Monday video series. So if you guys have any thoughts or suggestions, since I'm not really sure what I want to do. I did a Monday motivation series, set of videos on Mondays when I was doing Stampin' Up, but I don't want to come back with that one because this is really just going to be strictly Cricut stuff on Mondays. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the card. I cut out these little candles using the Something to Celebrate Cricut cartridge, and I also cut out this, and I'll show you how I laid all of this out on Design Space at the very end of this video, so if you want to check that out. But we're just going to hop into setting up our card. I'm going to take my 3 little candles here and a piece of scratch paper, and we are going to do some stamping on these candles. I could have just cut it out with pattern paper, but I wanted to do some stamping. So I have going to take a piece of this is actually masking paper, and I am going to use it to mask off the top part of my candles. I'm using a stamp set from Lawn Fawn. This is a chevron backgrounds stamp set, and I am just going to go ahead and mount that onto my Fiskars stamp press, and we are going to use this to kind of decorate the bottom of our candle. I have 2 different colors I'm going to use, Fresh Peach, and it's another one. The other one's a Stampin' Up color, Pear Pizzazz, and I am going to stamp out the Fresh Peach first. Go in with one more stamp just to fill in that bottom part. So for my last one, I'm just stamping that one out in the Pear Pizzazz using the same chevron stamp. Okay, and then I'm going to take my 3 candles here, and I'm going to take one of those little sponge daubers along with Butter Bar by Hero Arts, and I'm going to use that to do my little flame. I love these little daubers. They make doing this kind of stuff super easy, and you can get a little bit more precise when you're doing, filling in colors and stuff. Alright, so I have a standard A2 size card. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And when I die cut this piece with my Cricut, I made sure this was 1/4 of an inch smaller, so it's 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to go right there. And then I'm going to take my 3 little candles, and these are going to come out from behind the little kind of postage stamp style cutout there. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inside of there. So I'm just going to open this up here. My sentiment comes from this little Paper Tray Ink Fillable Frames number 6 stamp set. I'm going to use the Make-A-Wish. Alright, so I have this set down here just to kind of give me an idea of where I want to stamp my sentiment. I have my Make-A-Wish stamp onto my stamp press, and I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Cobblestone ink. And we're going to do Make-A-Wish right up in this corner. I'm going to take just some tape runner and adhere my 3 little candles on the back side of our postage stamp area. Alright, so I added lots of foam adhesive to the back of this, and you could definitely make this card. It would make a great shaker card too if you added a piece of acetate before you put your foam piece down, and then added your sequins or confetti or something like that. So we're just going to make it a regular card. Alright, so there's so far what we have. So I'm kind of looking through some of my embellishments, the stuff that I've had around for quite some time, and I thought it'd be good to kind of start getting rid of these and using them up. So this is some canvas DIY stickers from Simple Stories, and I am just going to take the hearts that are in this and kind of lay them I want to use different sizes. Kind of lay them around on my card. Maybe I'll just do 2. So going through my stash when I was looking for those canvas stickers, I also found these brads, and these have been hanging around for quite some time. They're both by October Afternoon. This is from the Cakewalk collection, which is a birthday collection, and then this Midway, which is more of kind of a carnival collection. And then I also, if I didn't mention, this paper came from the Thrift Shop collection from October Afternoon. Don't know if these collections are still available. If they are, I will definitely link them below. But what I did was I took the brads and I cut off the brad piece because I didn't want to poke through the card and have the brads on the inside of my card. I used my handy dandy used and abused Tim Holtz scissors. I have a brand new pair, but these are the my original ones that I first got. And just be careful when you're cutting off these backs. Learn the hard way. You will also cut off your cut your hand as well. So I already adhered one of these down. I put the pink one down here. I'm going to take this green one that brings in the green color from that candle there. I'm just going to add a little bit of the multi-matte medium. And what's nice about the matte medium is that it dries flat matte, so you won't even see it. What I did do with these brads is when I cut off the back, I took this, I think this is by We Are Memory Keepers, and I kind of just pushed down the pieces that were kind of still sticking up and got those, you know, pushed in so that they weren't sticking out, and our brads would then lay flat onto our card front. And then finally we're just going to add some sequins, and these are from Pretty Pink Posh, and I'm just going to kind of take some of them out here. I want to use these lighter colored ones, and we're just going to kind of make little clusters of them around our other pieces that we, you know, adhere to our card front. And I'm just using my multi-matte medium to adhere these down, because again it dries flat and matte, so you won't, like what I just did there, shooting it across and getting the adhesive all over the place, you won't actually see that. And then the last thing I want to do with my card is I tied a little bow using some linen thread, and I am going to adhere that right into the center of one of these little canvas hearts. And that finishes off my card. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for how I put this together using my Cricut Explorer program. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is how I set this up on the Design Space program. I first knew that I wanted to do some kind of window type style card. So I went into Insert Images, and I did my first search for a rectangle. So I'm just going to go ahead and search for a rectangle. And I just picked the first one that I came across, which is just down here towards the bottom. This one comes from the Creative Cards Cricut cartridge. I'm just going to go ahead and select that. And you can see it adds it down here at the bottom, right next to where it says Insert Images and Cancel. Then I also wanted to do some kind of window, and I didn't want to just do another rectangle, so I decided to do a postage stamp style cutout. And as I was scrolling through here, I saw this pink one. It just caught my eye. And this one comes from the Sentimentals cartridge. Now it is a tag, but we're going to go ahead and modify that so that we don't have it as a tag. And then the last thing we want to do is just find some candles. And I picked out some really cute candles. Let's see, where are they? There we go. They're from the Something to Celebrate cartridge. So I just went ahead and added that. And then I'm going to do Insert Images. So I'm going to grab my rectangle here. This is going to be my card, one of my layers on my card, and I want this to be 1/4 of an inch smaller than my card. My card was 4.5 by 4, or 5.5 by 4 1/4. I want this to be 1/4 of an inch smaller, so I'm going to hit this little unlock key right here, and I'm going to type in a height of 5.25 for 5 1/4, and then I'm going to do a width of 4, and that creates my card base there, my first layer of my card. For the postage stamp, what I did with this one is, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to hide the lighter pink area because I don't need that. I'm just going to use the darker pink. And then for this one, I don't want to cut out this little circle. It really doesn't matter if you don't have it cut, if you leave it there to cut out, because you're not going to use that piece. But I wanted to actually put this piece aside in case I wanted to use it for another card. So I went to the contour and I just hit that little circle there, and it hides it so that it's no longer a part of the cut. This is going to then get put onto the front of my card, and I believe I set this to be a height of, my width maybe was 2.5 inches and my height was, let's see, let's make this 2.50. It's 3.07, or just about 3 inches if you wanted to do it that way if you're cutting it out on your regular Cricut. I am going to kind of center this on the front of my rectangle, and then we're going to go ahead and select both the rectangle and the stamped. Now you could do this two ways. I'm going to move this out of the way. You can just click and drag, and it'll select both of them at the same time, or you can have one selected, hit your Shift key, and select the other one, and that'll group it too. So I'm going to go over to my layers section here, and I'm just going to hit attached, and that is going to actually put that little postage stamp right in the center of it, and when we go to cut, it's going to cut on those black lines to create that postage stamp look. The last little section we're going to work on are our candles. Now I did not use any of the layers except for the bottom layers, so I'm going to hide all of those layers, and the only ones I'm going to cut are just the regular candle layers. And I do not think, I'm pretty sure I did not change the size of those. So we're going to go ahead, and this is going to actually, because I like to lay things out as I'm working here, I'm going to lay it out so that it's poking through the postage stamp like you saw in the beginning of the video. So I'm just going to hit arrange and move to front so we could see exactly where it's at, make sure it was really the size I wanted it to be. So that's how I designed today's card using the Design Space program and a couple of those Cricut cartridges. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. A link to the supplies are down below in the YouTube description and over on my blog if you want to check them out. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.